I'm here at the Cheltenham Literature Festival, where I'm surrounded by all things books, authors, writers, readers, and pretty much anything to do with literature. And although the people here enjoy a good book, according to the DCMS, nearly 50% of young people don't enjoy reading in their free time. So I want to talk to people here and find out what they think of that statistic, and if they've got any advice for the Gen Z generation. What would your advice be to someone that wants to get into reading but maybe doesn't at the moment?
Do you know what? I think a big thing is so when I was at school, I tried to read Shakespeare because I thought it was something that I was studying drama. I thought this is something I really need to learn, but it's boring and it'll send you straight to sleep. So read something that inspires you. Read something interesting.
What does reading do to you when you're sat there by yourself in that time? How does it help you?
It transports you to another world. You're just in the story of whatever you're reading.
What do you think reading does for someone, for their mental health, their mind, for their day-to-day life? Why do you think it's so important for who we are?
I just think you can switch off from some of the tension of life. You can immerse yourself in something where you become in the book. And so reading for me allows me to just totally relax, to get absorbed.
The joy of life is reading books. I mean, even if it's a Kindle, it still gives you that opportunity to use your imagination to see what the words are meaning. And I don't see how, if you don't read, you can develop that understanding of the world.
Why do you think for his growth, why reading would be so important for him and his life growing up?
So I think books and stories probably teach empathy, and I think that's really important in today's world. So I definitely want him to grow up understanding other people's experiences and perspectives, and I think stories are a really good way into that.
I got this book signed today.
No way.
And it's from Louis Stowell, and it says Fox.
Is that what he wrote on there?
Yeah.
So, we've heard from everyone here at the Cheltenham Literature Festival, but what about the professionals?
We know that research shows that reading for pleasure is the single biggest factor in the future success of a child, more so than their parents' education or their socio-economic background. And in the age of Netflix, TikTok and instant gratification, we know that if young people don't develop the stamina for reading early, it will have a genuine impact on their later life chances.
So how can we change this? How can we encourage the Gen Z generation to read and to most of all, enjoy reading? Well, I caught up with some great people who've got some really good ideas.
An event like mine, I'm hoping can inspire young queer individuals to find a book that is something important to them and something that their story can relate to.
I think that VoiceBox is a really great space to sort of spark that interest. So we know as a charity again that reading is essential to well-being, and it's such an important part of our lives and of children's lives and young people's lives. So VoiceBox is a really great space to kind of reconnect with those topics and subjects.
I began working with comics because I was teaching ESOL, English for migrants, refugees, and sometimes it could be really difficult to get through to some of my students. And something that myself and some of my colleagues found was that often graphic narratives, graphic novels, comics could be a really powerful way of getting through to them and validating their experiences, being able to create comics which show what's going on in their lives, that they can relate to.
So, that's what everyone else thinks. But what do you think about the Gen Z generation falling out of love with reading?